be a founder, right? There are so many so many ups and downs. It's unbelievable. It's a roller coaster in a single day.
You look at the ups when you go down. You always look at the victories, and whenever you have bad news, you look at every single victory, and you know that you have a victory around the corner. You trust on the team that you have. You trust on your co-founder. You trust on what you are doing and on the mission that you have of the company, and you know that you are doing a good job, and eventually everything that goes down eventually comes up.
Hi, Federico. Thank you so much for coming to the LifeOfAFounder. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you so much for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here.
The pleasure is all mine. So today I joined from San Francisco. For sure, I would say Mecca, the place where to be for startup venture capital. But you are based in Portugal, so you are a European startup. Today we don't talk about your company, although somehow we touch it, but we talk about yourself, right? Who is behind the startup? Who is behind the scene? Who does wake up in the morning and try and make it a big effort to make these things done? So as we start, would you like to give me an intro? Who you are, where you come from?
Yeah, I would love to. So I started as an optometrist. I decided that I wanted to do some innovation on that side. I decided to do an executive master's in management with a specialization in digital innovation. While I was doing this active masters, my best friend came up with an idea in the area of the early detection of breast cancer. I joined forces with them. I got excited about what he was doing, and we decided to start our company, because where I was working, I saw it was a big company, and I saw that all the ideas that I was proposing for innovation, they would take a long time to get picked to do something with them. So it would take a long time for me to start doing some innovation and to get some impact on the market.
It's very important topic to cover. It's so difficult to innovate inside a corporation because rules are there and priorities are not the one actually matters you. So it's not. It's many people they are forced to work out. So if you want really to follow what matters, your dream, creating something that is very meaningful for you. How do you find? How do you find the step out from the corporate side and move into the startup where everything's about uncertainty since day one?
Well, it's not an easy choice, especially at that time. I actually had a proposal in the company to go up, to move up on the company. But in my opinion, in my case, and in my co-founder's case, it's all about the impact that we can have on people's lives. If we are making people's lives better, if we can have some positive impact on their lives, it's because we are succeeding. And if you believe in on what you are doing, on the idea you have, it's a leap of faith, and you just go forward. You try to put what you are creating on the market, and you try to do the best you can to bring it to the market. And if you believe it, and you and you see the end goal, which is the impact you can have on people's lives, you end up loving what you are doing, and you end up going forward with it. Of course, it's not for everyone, because you have to balance that risk and commitment sides. But if you can clearly see the end goal, you just take that leap of faith. Yeah.
It's the kind of stepping out from the comfort zone, which is the enemy of entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and walking to the unknown, fully unknown, especially when you start. But would you find would you find the most difficult part? I've been talking to so many founders, I forgot the number, but too many. But there are very different experience how challenging can be the beginning, where you're your co-founder, if you have a co-founder, some are solo entrepreneur, solo founders, uh, you must cover everything.
Yeah.
So you are the sales guy if you're selling, maybe you're not selling yet. You are the guy who must work on the product, planning everything, raising the money. So it's very challenging. So how do you find it? How do you find yourself inside it? What challenged you the most?
Um, it's hard to say, because I think what you have to have in mind at the beginning is you need to be self-aware that you don't know everything, and you need to surround yourself of people that are experts in certain topics that you don't know, and you don't need to be afraid to call for help. And I think that can be one of the biggest struggles, is to be confident enough to call for help, to ask someone for help, and to tell them, I don't know, I need your help for this. But when you put yourself in this position, all the other people are eager to help you, and to lend their knowledge and their know-how. Another of the struggles is to where do you find the information? What I don't know? Because when you define what you don't know, it's easier to find information. The problem is what I don't know. So where is a certain uncertainty? Sorry about the redundancy there, but where is a certain uncertainty about the things you don't know? That's what scares you, because there's a lot of things that you are not aware of, and you eventually find some struggles there, because you need to really understand what you are dealing with.
How do you overcome? I mean, how did you find, if you did already, the right people surrounding you, the mentors, the advisors, maybe if you need, and also the network? Because I believe very much early stage founder, they need the support.
Yeah, you end up doing the question, sometimes admitting, I don't know nothing about this. What do I don't know? What do I need to know? You talk with people. You don't. You need to overcome the fear of saying that you don't know certain things, that you are not an expert, or you might know a certain topic, but you still need to be self-conscious that you are not an expert, and there are people way more talented, and way more with a lot more expertise on certain topics, and you need to surround yourself of those people. Ask to everyone. Try to find people that already succeeded. Talk with those people that have a lot of years of experience. Of course, you are going to get a lot of different opinions, a lot of different feedbacks, and the more feedbacks and the different opinions you get, you end up finding a pattern, and there are certain people that end up saying the same, and those are the people that normally normally are in the same page and normally are right because they had the most success in their lives, or normally it's the right path. But I think that's how you succeed. It's gaining the courage of going in front, networking, because things don't follow in your lap. You need to make it happen. You need to go after it if you want to know what you don't know. You need to network. You need to get those people behind you to make sure that they are helping you.
I mean, in your opinion, how important is exactly having the right network around
Very,
you?
very important. Very, very important. The bigger the network, the better.
And how do you cultivate your network? You spend a lot of time networking?
Yeah, you end up going to events and you ask for introductions. You end up meeting people. You need to be open to meet all types of people. If it's not an investor, is a C-level person or at another company. That C-level person can introduce you to another person that it's an expert in a certain area that they worked with. You can meet a founder that has worked with a company that you also might need the services, or that knows a mentor that can be very useful for you in a certain topic. So you end up finding people in. There are a lot of startup communities and hubs and events, and if you go to some of them, incubators, accelerators, they are a great way to network.
How do you define? I mean, I, in my, based on my experience, founders must be somehow big-headed. You must be very confident. You must be. You can't be an entrepreneur if you're not confident yourself. At least confident or what you're doing. Doesn't mean you are totally confident about yourself, but surely what you're doing. And at the same time, you must have some kind of flexibility, right? So
Yes.
adapting to what people tell you, not because they're going to change your mind, but because, for example, mentors, they've done this before than you, as some devices makes you do not make the same mistakes, right? As we did already. I made so many. I've done 6 startups in my life. EquityMatch is the sixth one. I'm still making mistakes, but I'm not repeating the previous ones. New ones, but not old ones. So how do you define yourself?
Well,
Big-headed or someone flexible?
I like to define myself as a flexible person. Me and Francisco, my co-founder, we normally like to have all the cards on the table. So we like to hear every single opinion of everyone. And then, as I told you at the beginning, we know where we want to go. We see the future. We see what is the goal that we are trying to reach. So we like to hear every single opinion, and we don't discard any feedback we get. And when we have every single opinion on the table, that allow us to have a bigger overview and to make better decisions. And of course, look at everyone's mistakes, because we learn with not only with the wins of the others, but with the mistakes of the others, and that having every possibility on the table allow us to have flexibility and to make sure that we are taking the right path for our company.
You're a co-founder, and uh, I mean, how you guys are complementary. For co-founder must be very different, in my opinion. So you can cover different, different functionality inside a need inside a startup. And when did you meet your co-founder? Do you know him? I believe he's a man
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah, we actually been best friends for for more than, I don't know, 16 years now,
Oh, wow.
15. We known each other since high school, so we known for a long time. And yeah, we are a little bit we are complementary on that sense, since on one way is more on the is a biomedical engineer, so he's on the engineering side. I brought this management knowledge to the startup. And in terms of the way we have different ways of working. But we balance each other. Uh, Sometimes I'm more optimistic, he's more pessimistic, depending on the times of the companies. Sometimes it's the other way around. Sometimes he's more down to earth and I'm more like a dreamer, and we balance each other. So I think in that sense we are in a good balance. We are able to find the balance between our friendship and work relationship. So we are able to be at the office having a big discussion, and after the discussion, we close the door of the office and we can go for a drink and still get some laughs. So
Let's have
I
a
think
beer.
yeah,
That's very important. Let me follow up on this. I mean, I know being entrepreneur, having a balance, uh, working a private life is very complicated. But above that, how much time do you spend? I mean, do you have time to enjoy a bit your life, your friends, family? How do you spend your daily routine and your free time, spare time?
well, I have time to go to the cinema. On Mondays I always go and play football with a couple of friends. Um, I'm a big football fan, so of Sporting Clube de Portugal, which my co-founder also is, and we go together to the matches. So I find the time also to be with the family and my girlfriend. Um, it's it's harder when we have a bigger workload, and sometimes I have to work some extra hours, and I'm at home with my girlfriend, and it's like 11 p.m. and midnight, and my girlfriend is asking me, "Let's go to bed," and I still need to finish this. I'm still doing this. I have to finish this, or she wants to spend some time together, and I'm on my computer. But it depends on the time. There are certain times that we have more workloads, and there are some things that we have some timelines to fulfill, which are more urgent than others. But
It's not easy. I mean, balancing everything is very complicated, especially when you have so much to do any single
yeah,
day. But in terms of be a founder, right? There are so many up and downs, so many ups and downs. It's
yeah.
unbelievable. It's a roller coaster any single day. How do you manage it? How do you keep going, keep resilient, keep motivated any single day?
You look at the ups when you go down. You always look at the victories, and whenever you have a down day, a down month, bad news, you look at every single victory, and you know that you have a victory around the corner. You trust on the team that you have. You trust on your co-founder. You trust on what you are doing, and on the mission that you have of the company, and you know that everything will end up that you are doing a good job, and eventually it will everything that goes down eventually comes up.
I mean, many founders they told me a very little positive things change my day. I don't need a huge victory. I need a little one that moves me ahead. Is something that applies to you as well?
Yeah, it's the small victories. It's those things that you have to celebrate for yourself and with the team. And I think especially with the team, it's when you see the 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 team reacting to those small victories, and when yourself see that you conquer those small victories, uh, you get a lot of fuel of those small victories.
Do you have any? I mean, again, you are in early stage, so you must cover a lot. You are more on the managerial side. Your co-founders are more on the engineering side. You still need to do a lot and many tasks. What actually you enjoy the most in what you're doing today?
Well, what I enjoy the most, I have two things. In terms of work per se, I love to be in front of the Excel. The financial part, I love to look at the accounts, just working on the Excel, doing. That's my favorite part. Although this is a very small part of what I do, but that's my favorite part. Doing estimations, projections, and all of that. But another thing, not exactly related to the work. One thing that I love is going to the office and being there with the team, seeing the team connecting with each other, all together for working for the same goal that we are, and basically dressing the sweater of the company, brainstorming, having normal discussions, and working almost as a, well, as a startup mentality. All of them very comfortable with each other. I like to see that environment.
It's extraordinarily important. I mean, you have to have people rowing through the same direction and having the
Yeah,
same vision and the same commission. So sorry, same commitment to the company. I mean, what scares you? You're young, but what is scaring you the most? I mean, founders, yes, they sleep, but they don't sleep that much because, especially when you go to sleep, things come back to you, right? For the day before, the day's finishing, the day after. And what is scaring you the most?
I think not being able to pay the salaries of the team, and not being able to basically sustain them, because I know we are currently a team of 12 people. We know they are believing also in us. They trust in us, and they have accounts to pay. They have things that they need to cover, and of course, I'm afraid that me and my co-founder have to go and have that difficult conversation to them and tell them, okay, we don't have more money. We are not able to pay you. So, or you go and find another job, or I don't know. I think that's what scares me the most.
I think this scares an entrepreneur, even the one running established companies, because today is white, tomorrow can be black. But
Yeah,
you're a financial guy, so we can add this topic, which for me, coming from private equity M&A, it's very, very important in any startup. But for what I can see, is not that much well understood. unless you are a financial guy. Not all startup has a CFO. Mostly they don't at the very beginning. But let me ask you, how important for you is cash? And for cash, I mean not the cash flow on the spreadsheet, which is one thing, is the cash in your account. The free cash flow sitting in your account allows you to pay the salaries, right? How do you manage it? How do you control it? How are you actually forecast it more than revenue, as many do, but that's not the correct way to go.
Well, you need to make a decision on the investments that you are doing. You need to understand what they will bring. You need to understand the best value for money when you are spending it. So you need to make sure that the money that you have in the bank, how much is it going to last? And when you are spending it every month, in what are you spending it? And what will it give it back to you in terms of value for the company? And I think that's the most important thing. And try to avoid, but sorry for the word, but stupid expenses, stupid investments, and you need to make sure that you are investing the money in the right things, and you need to prioritize. You don't have money for everything. You need to invest in the things that will bring you closer to the market, or to certain milestones that will bring you to a next investment round.
I mean, partially you already answered me, but how do you see the concept of lean startup?
Well, it's the lean startup methodology is decide fast, iterate fast, and we need to fast prototyping, go fast to the market, don't spend stupid money, invest in the right things. It's mainly that, and that's how we see it. And don't lose too much time discussing stuff. Go for the quick stuff, and test it fast. It's quick decisions. It's mainly that for us.
That's completely right. That's very much by book. In your experience, is, for example, deploying too much money in marketing something good or bad? A lot of funders, they flow so much money in marketing, which is, for somehow, for example, in B2C, marketing matters. But at the same time, marketing can kill your cash flow. It's so difficult to understand as a financial guy the return on investment on marketing. It's very, very complicated. How do you see marketing in your startup, for example?
Well, marketing, of course, is a very important part of the company, but it depends on the stage that you are. You need to really address it very carefully. You need to have a really clear strategy on it, because you cannot invest. I think the main problem of some companies is investing on every channel, and if you don't if you spend all the money that you have in all channels, you don't see the returns on the right channel. So you need to study correctly all the channels, invest and make the the, the calculations to see how much you need to really invest on a certain channel, and the one that you think it's going to give you the most return, invest. And if it's not working, move to the next one. And with that, you can invest and focus on just the right channel, and you can start to see the return on investment on a certain channel. And I think that's the biggest mistake. It's, yeah, let's invest a lot in marketing, let's go for all the channels. You end up not focusing on any of them. you lose focus. You bet. Basically, you are in a casino. It's like, let's bet on all the numbers. You can win in one of them, but you end up losing all the money. You are not having returns. Like in the example I was giving is, it's like in the roulette. You put a chip on every single number. Uh, you can guess one number right, but at the end of the day, you end up losing money because you are betting on all of them at the same time.
I mean, it's very complicated. I can't stress more than startups, they die on cash flow. They literally die on cash flow. Cash flow is what helps you to keep going, right? There's nothing you can do. Cash flow is what allows you to try, to test, to pivot, to change, to test again, to go to market again. That's what it is, cash flow. But let me touch pivoting. Maybe you didn't have the need to pivot, but pivoting for many founders, for many very successful founders, it was the crucial point, right? To die or to succeed, understanding that what you do actually is not right. The market is not there, maybe the product is not there, or even the timing is not there. And you must change, right? And many founders, they actually went to become a unicorn from something that at the very beginning was not even taught. The revenue stream was not even really conceived. I mean, it came after because tested the market, right? So what's your point of view of pivoting? Do you think when pivoting will come, if, I hope for you not, which means you're right since day one, are you going to accept it, a change, or you will be a bit resilient and say, okay, I mean, bit resilient with your previous model is, okay, let me try a bit more.
Yeah, we are open to it, and we already, I can't say pivoting, but we already had some discussions on certain topics that made us rethink the strategy and what we should do. And I can give us some examples on that. For example, our first clinical trial for our device didn't go as we expected. We published the results as we should. So we needed to change the technology we were using, and we need to be open to that. And the device that we have is completely different from the first one that we created. So the device is totally different from what we started, and we need to be open to change that. And for example, we know it's going to take longer to get through FDA approval and take our device to the market. So since we need to start getting some revenue, we don't want to depend only on investors' cash. We want to start getting some traction. So one of the things we decided is, since our device is going to be connected to our mobile app, we are going to launch our mobile app before our device with some features that will bring some value to women. And so we made that decision, and we'll try to capture some value there. So we need to be flexible to make these decisions, to see what's working, what isn't, and, as you said, to pivot when needed.
Do you have any investor already in your cap table?
Yeah. We did a pre-seed round and received almost $500,000 in a safe with some investors. So dilutive money, and 1 million of non-dilutive money from grants, awards, donations from women.
What's the difference running a startup, bootstrapping, because I believe at the beginning you did your own, and having the invest in your cap table? The difference for me is massive. So you have an obligation and you have a pressure to deliver. that does exist before, exist, but not to that magnitude. Does make you be? Are you comfortable having investors at your cap table? That makes your life okay, or you feel the pressure?
Fortunately, we can say that our investors are very confident in us. But of course, we feel that pressure because we need to update them. They want to see that we are growing. We need to basically we need to show results, and we need to show something. We need to show that something is happening. Uh, and sometimes for a technical startup, trying to explain that for non-technical people, it's a little bit harder. So it's always important to find the right investors that have a good fit with you, that understand what you are doing, why you are doing the way you are doing, or that can even bring you some value and help you find you the best path. As I said, not only as to be investors, but to help you grow your network or to be even mentors. Um, but of course, we feel that responsibility because it's their money that we are dealing with. So we need to give them answers and tell them what we are doing with their money.
Are you scared to fail?
No, failure is the is a learning that we all receive, and it's part of the risk. As I said, what I'm scared the most is for the people that we have on our team, because we have a great team and the really talented team, and I'm more scared for them than failing.
You had to be. I believe the real entrepreneur is the one who is scared, don't pay the salaries. That's my strong believing. And for me, it's been all my life. I remember my first company. Uh, I've been without salary for months, as long as I paid them. It was in this way. So I reduced everything. I cut off everything, all my expenses, even changed the fact I was living in Milan, as long as I could pay all of them. And my ex girlfriend was so that's how it works for me. That's the only way I can go. What about you are in San Francisco now, which means one of the biggest hub ecosystem in the world. Uh, what's your take on the today tech ecosystem? I mean, Europe and US, very different from each other. Do you think there is too much talk and less tax delivering, or are you confident? Are you comfortable with them and you think we are doing right?
I think we are doing right. I think the tech ecosystem is growing. Of course, we have this AI momentum. Everyone wants to hear about AI. We need to be very careful on what companies are using AI. We don't want to find companies that say AI just for saying it because it's beautiful, and hopefully investors are still not scared of that, and I hope they don't get scared of that. They just need to do their due diligence, and to make sure that the ones that actually say AI for saying it, that they research on what they are doing if they are actually bringing some value. But in general, the ecosystem is huge. It's growing. You see a lot of action. You see a lot of things happening. Of course, and sorry about the wording, there are a lot of bullshit companies in all the areas, in very different areas. but that's part of the the ecosystem. You have good companies, you have bad companies, you have companies that might be good, but they still have something to prove. And of course, you have fantastic companies that have a potential for huge success and that can bring a lot of value to the people. And I hope we met a bunch of them, and I really hope that they succeed because they can really make our lives easier.
I mean, you raise money, so you know how investors think, right? Uh, what takes for a founder to raise money?
You need to get at least the first investor. If you get the first investor, it's easier to get the other ones. Um, then what it takes is to make sure that you believe in what you are doing, that you are committed to your company and to the vision of your company. And that's one of the things that investors value the most. They want to see commitment. Because they invest mainly on the team.
Yeah.
They don't invest purely on the technology. They invest mostly on the team that's behind it, and they want to see, of course, a good technology, a good market, a good potential for the technology, but they want to see a team that it's able to take that technology to the market, and that it's committed to take it until the end.
It does. It's all about founders at the beginning. For a very long time, up to the A,
Yeah.
B round, it's still about founders and team. So you bet on the people because you're betting in any possible terms. But yes, it's seriously about founders. What me for how long you've been a founder?
Since 2021, so we funded our company in 2021.
So what has been the biggest lesson you got?
Don't be full of yourself, be humble.
Which is very difficult.
uh, it depends, but yeah, sometimes you are talking with some people and you just want to say, what the hell are you saying? You are a
Uh,
person that knows about e-commerce. I'm in healthcare. Why are you saying you don't know anything about my market? But sometimes people from outside can bring some interesting ideas that you can try to apply. So
it comes from
you
a
need to be,
different perspective, no?
yeah, we need to be humble and open minded.
Let me close with a recommendation. If you can give any recommendation to the founders watching this podcast, what would you like to tell them?
Well, find the right co-founder. That's very important. The co-founders that you have, you need to have a great fit with you. Find committed people to your vision, to the mission of your company. Um, Avoid spending money that you don't need spending. Bootstrapping strategy, it's iterate fast. Don't try to over complicate the product before launching it. um, Really, that's a big mistake, but I don't know how to put this, but something that we did, we subcontracted a partner to help in the development of our product, but it didn't go as well as we expected because we didn't know better at the time. So uh, but I don't know how to put this as a as an advice, but it's better sometimes to make sure that at the beginning you have a working product than a pretty product. So test it as much as possible, test it with people, and then you can make it pretty. And there's that book that I think every founder should read is which is From Zero to One. That book is for me it was very, very good. I loved it. I think for every founder it's a great book. And yeah, be humble. Know that you don't know everything, and there are always people that might know more than you, and always be eager to learn from everyone.
Federico, thank you so much for coming to the Live Founder. It's been an absolute pleasure for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was also a pleasure on my side.